Good evening, Krishna. Thank you for joining in today's interview. How are you doing today?
I'm good, sir. What about you, sir?
I'm doing great for asking. So, Krishna, before we proceed, can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yes, sir. Thank you to giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. Uh, my name is Krishna, and I graduated my bachelor's degree from SRTM University Nanded, and in the stream of electronics and telecommunication. And after that, and electronics and telecommunication, and my skill sets are HTML, CSS, JavaScripts, and in the free time I like to read newspaper, and also like to read the new technologies, and which new technologies are introduced in the industry. And uh, yes, sir, this is all about myself.
That's great. Uh, Krishna, have you worked on any project?
Yes, sir, I worked on uh, 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 2 3 projects, sir, mini projects.
Can you explain one of your project and what are the technologies that you have used?
Yes, sir. In my project, there is one project called code application, which we are basically used to create, delete, update, and to post something. So in that application, we there are 2 3 mm, uh, in the browser. There are 2 3 inputs which get the information of the unique server or unique user. So in that uh, application, so it is a basically code application. So we are in that when a user give their input data on that page, so it will be saved to the server side. And if user want to delete that post or delete their information, so he can delete their information to himself, sir. After that, in that we use the different type of storages. We can use the local storage, session storage, or we can also use the any server or database which we are created. And after that, sir, we in that we use the API calls, different type of API calls, and then we are arranging the templating functions, or uh, the all these post, create and delete. The order of these all functions we are created in the very good manner. So it is very the project is very user friendly, and there is no any lag or and any bug in that applications. This is all about my projects.
So, are you working? Were you working in the project single-handedly, or you were in a group of people?
uh, uh, in the single and teams, both. I am working in the both. Whenever needed, if there is no one, then I can handle the project by only by my side, sir.
Okay. Can you give 2 points that you would like to bring to my notice so that it becomes easier for me to hire you today? Why should
Yes,
yeah?
yes, sir. The first uh, is, sir, that I am learning JavaScript, HTML, CSS is the one part, but I implement the things, or the application, using that my knowledge, and into the very good way. So it will be very useful for user, and I have ability to implement the new things in that project, or any other projects also. This is my first ability. And second ability is that if there is any problem in my projects, so I go to that problem and work on it and solve the problem as in low time, sir.
You try to quickly solve the problem.
Quickly solve the problems.
Okay. So when you are coming for this interview or when you are looking for a job, what do you basically look for in a job?
I
What are the things
basically
that you keep in mind that these are the things that should be there in a job that I am particularly looking into?
so first thing I decided is that the job is more based on JavaScript or the front end development works, and second one is the job which gives me to improve my skills and knowledge.
That's great. So how long will you take to make any kind of meaningful contribution to our firm if you are selected?
So firstly, I'm think on that any particular situation, and then uh, uh, I take some time and then decide that this will happen or not, sir.
Means I didn't get you properly. Means can you please repeat your answer once again?
So I am not taking decision in hurry, sir. So first I am uh, think on that situation and then make any decisions.
No, my question was something different. My question was, how long will you take to make any kind of meaningful contribution to my firm? If you're, I'm not asking about your decision-making abilities. I'm asking
Yes.
that how long will you take means to contribute to the project that you would be hired into, to work for the profit, to increase the profitability of our firm.
No, sir, I will not take more time, sir.
Can you just give me a minute? There is someone at the.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you will not take much time.
Yes.
Can you explain time or can you share your experience wherein you had to work under pressure or deal with some certain deadlines?
Yes, sir. So past few days, uh, I am working on a project, and there is the problem that the some data is render on when user is logged in, sir. So there is the problem. So I take a time and discuss with my colleagues and team members and solve that problem in very low times.
So I'll start with the technical round. I'll need to know that how confident or how much rating would you like to give for yourself in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript?
In HTML and CSS, 3.5, sir, and in JavaScript I will give my rating is 4, sir.
Can you tell what is the full form of CSS?
Uh, Cascading style sheet, sir.
What do you mean by cascading?
Cascading means no, sir. I don't. Yes.
Right. So let me ask you a few questions related to JavaScript. Okay.
Yes.
Required, you can when it will be required, you need to share your screen and type in
Yes.
codes. Tell me some of the outputs of some of the questions that I'll be asking. Okay.
Yes.
So the first question I'll ask is, what is a callback function? And if you can share with an example.
Yes, sir. Callback function is basically the function which executed after something happens, sir.
Something happened. What does something?
Something means any event or
Mhm.
uh, any event and the
We
basically
normally
callback
pass.
function.
Yes, yes, yes. Continue, please.
The callback functions are basically uh, are stored in the any variable or
Mhm.
in any function. So they are executed after some function or some properties, some functions are executed. So they callback functions.
Um, can you share your screen and write a small program on that callback function?
Yes, sir. So there is one array and we are applying a higher order function or any function which is dot. Then there is the we take arrow function which is the callback function in that function. So so uh, em. So here is the this is the callback function, sir. The this arrow function is the callback function.
What will be the output of the program that you have written?
Here is the all arrays. One minute. These are all array elements.
Right. How will you check if an object is an array or not?
What's that?
With the code. How will you check if an object is an array or not?
In that array.
Will you check? This is not for related to this question. It's a completely
Yes, sir.
question. How will you check if an object is an array or not?
Array or not. Just type of that elements.
Mhm.
Array or not. The mainly, sir, array are defined in the square bracket and objects are in the curly brackets.
Mhm. What we basically use.
So in the object we use the key and values, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you heard object dot prototype?
Yes, sir. Object.
Right. So don't you think the best way to find an object, whether it's an
Yes.
array or not?
Yes.
What is an object? Okay, first let me come to this question. What is an object?
Object is basically the information which is in the form of keys and values, sir.
Okay, right. So how you empty an array in JavaScript? Suppose an array is there, A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
How
Yes.
will you empty it?
We can just equals to empty array, sir. We can give the value for that array is equal to empty array.
How will you check if a number is an integer or not?
A number is integer or not.
Mhm.
No, sir.
Got it. Right. Okay. Have you heard about equality in JavaScript?
Equality.
No?
Equality. No, sir.
Okay. Can you explain the difference between object.freeze function versus constant?
Object dot.
Freeze.
Object dot freeze.
You have
No,
not
sir.
heard of that? Okay, not a problem. Uh, can you explain the difference between ES6 class and ES5 function constructors?
Yes, sir. ES5 constructor, ES6 class is basically the sugar coating of constructor.
Mhm.
So in the class, there is also behind the class, there is also constructor.
Mhm.
And in the ES5 class,
ES5 function constructor.
constructor, and second one is
The difference between ES6 class and ES5 function constructor. Okay, not a problem. You can stop sharing your screen now.
yes.
Have you heard about IIFE?
Yes, sir.
What
It is
does that
basically,
mean? Yeah.
sir, IIFE is basically uh, uh, immediately invoke
Mhm.
ex, function expression.
What is that basically used for?
So it is basically used for when we use the any properties in the two files.
Mm-hmm.
So something which I am declare the one properties in the first JS file, and there are there and I want to use that property in the second file. So there is the there is the chance to leak the data, or this is not the good practice for the security. So there is the called if he is introduced, so we can store our data in the function, so it cannot be accessed by the any other files.
So can you share your screen and show me the syntax of writing an IIFA?
If, yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Suppose you need to print hello. How will you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do you know what is a generator in JS?
Generator in JS, sir. No, sir. I don't.
Uh, How familiar are you with arrow functions in year 6?
Yes, sir.
Can
These
you
are
tell that?
basically the synthetical replacing of functions, sir.
Why do we use arrow functions? Can you tell me? 3 points.
Mm, Code is getting less, sir, and after that, code is getting less, and then yes, sir.
Only one code is getting less.
Yes, sir.
So it's only one advantage of using the arrow function, that we have to type less code. So can you explain the difference between null and undefined?
Yes, sir. None is the undefined means, sir. We means, sir, we have not declared the variable yet, and the nan is when we add the undefined value in the any other uh, data type, then it will give the nan output.
I'll share you a code. You need to check the code and tell me what is the output of that code. Okay. You can copy paste the code in your.
Function variable is it give the 5 values, sir.
It will give the
5
result.
value.
Right?
5.
Check.
Yes.
So now I'm sending you another problem statement. You need to write a function that will actually allow you to perform this problem statement. Okay.
Yes.
Let me just share you. You need to write a function so that this can be executed.
Yes. Multiply 6 into 5.
Correct. Do you know what is closure in JavaScript? And if you can provide an example as well.
Closure is basically the closures we are used to we are used to use the inner data of any function outside that functions, and there the
Example.
definition of closure is the the functions are bundled together in the reference of their scopes.
Okay. Any example that you can show?
Yes, yes, sir. We can. We can here written function. Yes, this is one type of closures.
Right. Okay. So you can stop sharing the screen now.
Yes.
So I'm done with all the questions. Do you have any question for me that you would like to ask?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for joining in today's interview. Then we'll come up with the feedback session very soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine.
Okay.
Work hard. Okay.
Okay.